What's going on, guys? Danny here for Metal Couch Review Request Week, this time coming from Randall Combs, who would like me to review an album from a band that I probably am going to not pronounce their name correctly, with a whole bunch of songs on their album that I'm probably not going to pronounce correctly, because I don't know Swedish. We're taking a listen at some Swedish death metal from the band Vanhelgds. I think that's how you pronounce their name. I hope that's how you pronounce their name. It's probably wrong, knowing my luck. I'm not good with Swedish, despite how much of this stuff that I listen to on a constant basis. I cannot pronounce it for the life of me. So I'm really going to be butchering some of the track titles in this album, so bear with me. The album opens up with, again, forgive me, Dodens, Maskatna, and Lete, which sounds more Spanish than anything else, which is how I know that it's wrong. So, it opens up with that opening track, and immediately there's something weird. I look at the release date, May 27th, 2014, and I'm immediately confused, as this is an album that sounds like it would easily come out in the early 90s and have been gone all this time for 20 years, buried deep within someone's massive cassette pile, never to be found, except for that one time that a homeless guy forages through it, and he just so happens to have a Walkman. Anyway, the production of this is very, very retro. Now, with Swedish death metal, it's very difficult to try to sound unique in this field, and what I mean by that is that it seems like everybody and their mother from Sweden has a death metal band, and a lot of them sound the same. And while I do feel like this, I've heard this guitar tone many times before, and sometimes the vocal work kind of blends into that area of that plethora of monotony, I find that the material behind this album, their songwriting capabilities, makes up for that. Anybody can make this guitar tone, but it's how you use it. And this band uses it very well. I was highly impressed with the production on this album and the talent given to the people playing instruments. So, some of my highlights off of this album, The Salt in My Hands is a very good track. May the Worms Have Mercy on My Flesh, the title track, Relics of Sulphur Salvation, and the final track, Cure Us from Life. In fact, I can't think of a single time on this album where it slowed down, it broke flow, or even did something bad, which is a really good sign and really ups my final score for this album. Honestly, this is the first album I've heard from this band. I don't know how many other albums they've put out. I'm going to look on Metal Archives when I'm done. But I was highly impressed listening to this. An excellent suggestion from Mr. Combs. All in all, this is a great album. It honestly, like I said before, it sounds like something that was made 20 years ago and was completely forgotten about. And if it was forgotten about, shame on the people that forgot about it, even though I know this really isn't going anywhere because it was released in 2014. Definitely listen to this album. It's great. If you are in need of a death metal fix, I can't recommend this album highly enough. In fact, I like this album so much that I am, fuck it. It's nominated for Album of the Year. That's how much I love this album. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. That's how good I like this. Arbitrary grading numbers are arbitrary. So, Danny here for Metal Couch, and may the worms have mercy on my flesh.